Good afternoon. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst, and today is a beautiful day for multiple reasons. Not only is it another opportunity for me to come into your house, into your car, into your internet, wherever you're tuning in from, and teach you some of the most groundbreaking functional medicine approaches to fixing high blood pressure. You heard that, high blood pressure. It affects a lot of Americans. In fact, 46% of Americans today have a staggering issue with their blood pressure, elevated. And watch this, another 38% have pre-hypertension and don't even realize that their blood pressure is a problem because you can't feel blood pressure. Hey, my name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show, the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. And what also makes today an absolute joy is I get the honor and the privilege of blessing several of you with some free knowledge and free education. We have a brand new ebook. I just finished this one, hot off the presses. It's Heart Disease, Heal Thyself. The diet heart myth, how we have been lied to in regards to this concept of cholesterol, fat, etc. So guys, 25 pages long. It has all the magnesiums and the turmeric, vitamin D, red yeast rice, CoQ10. Check that out over here. Look at this. The herbs for a healthy heart, the foods for a healthy heart. It goes through all the tests. It has all of the values. What should triglycerides be? How do you find out what's causing it? The nerve connections. I mean, look at this. This thing is an absolute joy. And it's yours free. But to spice it up even more, thanks to Fox Sports Charlotte, I get the privilege today to bless two individuals with a $100 pass to the if I'm pronouncing this right, Izar Wellness Center in Charlotte. It is a med spa. They're going to pamper you. They're going to take care of you. We've got all kinds of services, everything from acupuncture to spa services, even things like massage and whatnot. So it's the Izar Wellness Institute. They and our station, Fox Sports Charlotte, have gifted two $100 certificates. So before you start itching, going, how do I? You have to text in with your name and your number. Your name and your email. But you have to put the word spa if you want to be entered into the drawing. Now, at the very end of our show today, boom, two of you are going to immediately win a $100 certificate to the Izar Wellness Spa here in Charlotte. They're located on 6324 Fairview Road, Suite 204, Charlotte, North Carolina. $100 gift certificates. I have two of them. And if you do it right now, you're entered to win. So the whole show today, 704-906-2094, the word spa, your name, and your email. Now, I've got to be very clear, guys. This is a $100 gift certificate. You have to do it exactly right. If you text in spa and that's it, you're not entered. If you text in your name and no email, you're not entered. So you open up your phone, 704-906-2094, and you type the word spa, then you put in your name, then you put your email, and you push send. Boom, that's an entry. Now, don't think you can do it over and over and over and over again. One entry per text, and at the end of the show, we will randomly pick one texter, and it's yours, but there's two of you guys. There's two people today that are going to win this $100 gift certificate. So what's the number? 704-906-2094. Do it now because I'm telling you, it's already blowing up. I'm looking at the phone like I've muted it because it's just 704-906-2094. Now, if you're wanting to, what about the ebook? How do I get this free thing? Like I'm telling you guys, how to lower blood pressure in here, the diet and the supplements. How to reset cholesterol in here, the diet and the supplements. How to fully get rid of arrhythmias and palpitations and that heart anxiety in here. What are the tests that identify heart function? What's the diet? What's the supplements? The ebook is yours. How do we get this one? Same thing, but you text the word heart with your name and email. So really, you guys should do two things. You should text SPA, name and email. Boom, it enters you into the $100 gift certificate that we're doing today. And you do the same thing and say the word heart, and then boom, you get the ebook for free, guys. 25 pages, all yours, 100%. I'll give the numbers out a couple times throughout the show. I can see the texts are just pouring in, so obviously you guys are listening. 704-906-2094. I have two $100 gift certificates that we're literally just giving away. It's the IZAR Wellness Spa here in Charlotte, Fairview Road, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's all for you, but you have to text in. So let's talk today about our topic, hypertension. It's a big deal, and it can sneak up on people out of the blue because A, you can't feel it. B, most people have high blood pressure and don't even know it. And C, sadly, it is one of those silent conditions that can come and go based upon what's going on in your life. It is a literal heart effect. It can damage your heart and cause other issues. 9 out of 10 Americans, by the time they reach 65, which is ridiculous, will have high blood pressure. So you have a 90% chance today in the U.S. And what's terrible about this is having high blood pressure means you're increased risk for stroke, heart disease, kidney failure, blindness. I mean, it's ridiculous. And sadly, guys, the American Heart Association knows that this hypertension issue is becoming a big deal. So rather than trying to solve the problem and say, here's what causes it, instead they've lowered the normal number so that you just get more prescriptions. I've been around long enough that I remember 120/80 used to be the normal. And if you were like 130/90, they would say, yeah, stage 1, and then 140/100, stage 2, and 150, you're about to explode. The problem today is 120/80 is now considered hypertensive by pre-definition. So think about this. 120/80 is no longer normal blood pressure. It's normal to be 119 or less, 79 or less. So if you're walking around at 121/81, you would be labeled pre-hypertensive. And the challenge is with this, it means more people could potentially be put on medications to lower their blood pressure than if we say 120/80. So the complications here are profound. Big Pharma wants you on their drugs. And it's a matter of fact because when they change the numbers, they can get more people on their drugs. This happened with cholesterol, if you remember this. When I was in school, normal cholesterol used to be 210 to 220. We were okay with this. In fact, originally prescriptions weren't prescribed for high cholesterol until you were like way north of 280 or 290. What does Big Pharma do? Nah, we want it under 200 because if I find someone with 210, they would be considered okay previously. Now they are medicated. So watch, 121/85 would have been okay, but now it's called pre-hypertension because now I can give you medications early. Is blood pressure a big deal? Well, of course. We know that high blood pressure can increase your risks for heart attacks or strokes. In fact, the reason the blood pressure is high is usually because the blood vessels are constricted and there's a lot of plaquing, not from cholesterol. You'll learn about that next week, but for the fact that there's a spasm of the vessels and the blood flow increases in pressure by design. Think about it. It's a closed system. The tubes get smaller, the pressure goes up. We know high blood pressure can lead to aneurysms, which are small ruptures of the vessels inside of your brain because the pressure's so high, you blow a valve. We know it can cause kidney problems. Why? Man, your kidneys are filtering your blood 24/7. The blood is flowing through little tiny tubules to help you pull the toxins out. So if your pressure's high, the kidney pressure's high, and you can pop kidney vessels. Eye issues, why? Well, first of all, your eyes have some of the smallest blood vessels in your entire body. This is why diabetics end up with retinopathies, because their sugars make their blood so thick that they can't even push nutrients to their eyeballs, and they start losing vision in the back of the retinas. Well, high blood pressure can narrow and tear the small vessels within the eyes, and you get these little tiny ischemic explosions of blood vessel poppings. The ophthalmologists will do that little eye scan and go, God, you've got micro hemorrhaging inside your eye. You're losing vision. Why? Blood pressure. We know metabolic syndrome is technically the cause. So if you want to know what makes you have high blood pressure, it's a reaction to a deficiency in another system. So think about how the human body works. When something's high, it's because something else is low. If you have high blood pressure, it means you're deficient in the things you need to naturally let your pressure come down. And we're going to talk about what are those. There are 12 steps you can do right now to improve your blood pressure, because we're going to fix the cause rather than just pushing the pressure down using medications. So we need to change the way we think about blood pressure. It is not the problem. It is a downstream issue. Having high blood pressure is not the cause. It is the effect. It is the symptom of your underlying condition, which we need to say, what is that? We know there's 12 different things that can elevate your blood pressure. So rather than taking the conventional approach, which is forget those 12, who even wants to look into them? We have this medication or that drug or this thing that we can do to force your blood pressure down. And I don't know about you, but a medicated individual with normal blood pressure is different than an unmedicated individual with normal blood pressure. And which one would you rather be? I've never met someone who says, Dr. Ernst, I was thinking about this the other day. I can't wait until I can take my blood pressure pills. Like, I have so been looking forward to taking medications for the rest of my life. I've never met anybody who says that. Instead, they come in and say, I've been taking these medications. I'm sick and tired of doing this, and I want off of them. We teach them what's causing their blood pressure issues and what they need to do to fix it. And then over time, as they get healthy, their pressure starts to drop, and they have to stop the medication. Hey, if that's what you want, pay attention today, because those steps are in this ebook, which is free. In here, literally steps. What do you do to lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, reset your heart health? 25 pages. We just put the finishing touches on it. It is yours for free when you text HEART, your name, and your email to 704-906-2094. Again, 704-906-2094. 704-906-2094. Don't forget, also today, all day, if you text the word SPA with your name and email, you just entered to win a $100 gift certificate to an incredible spa called IZAR, I-Z-A-R, here in Charlotte. They have gifted you, through the Fox Sport channel here, a $100 gift certificate. I'm giving 2 of them away during this show, 2 next week. So if you miss the chances, tune in next week. And it's just name, email, and the word SPA. Just like the ebook is name, email, and the word heart. And before you start saying, Dr. Ernst, you're making this so insanely difficult. Like, how am I supposed to do? Just literally open up your phone and text your name, your email, and what do you want? SPA, that's a $100 gift certificate. Heart is the ebook for free. And one person will be pulled at the 1 o'clock hour, and another person will be pulled at the 1 o'clock hour and contacted directly, and you can pick up that free $100 certificate. Look, we're giving $200 away today. That's awesome, isn't it? So do it right now. Call, pick up, and take care of it. Okay, so the conventional approach to the blood pressure epidemic is to just throw medications at everybody. And there's different medications. They have things like diuretics. They have angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, which, by the way, when you hear it, they're blocking the conversion of angiotensin. That should tell you angiotensin and its conversion is involved in high blood pressure. So what if we could naturally, go figure, block that enzyme? And there's also calcium channel blockers. But something that's relatively new that I think is really fascinating is something called an alpha blocker. Now, I don't know if you guys take an alpha blocker or if you even know what an alpha blocker is. There is my camera freaking out. Let's see if it comes back. We're going to keep going. Hopefully this camera reconnects because I do live stream this on Facebook and YouTube. And if you watch medications called alpha blockers, what they do is they stop the impulses from your nerves and how they go to the heart to supposedly prevent the narrowing of the vessels. So what does that tell you, guys? Alpha blockers are telling you your nerves are involved. Angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, ACE inhibitors, are telling you angiotensin is involved. Calcium channel blockers are telling you calcium's involved. So if you really understand this, the approach that medicine takes will tell you what your problem is, but it's not going to fix it because drugs can only mask the reason calcium is high or the reason angiotensin is being converted inappropriately or the reason the nerves are sending the wrong signals. So let's go through the 12 steps to improve your heart health. This infographic is free for you at the end of the hour on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, which is just Ask Dr. Ernst. You can see our logo behind us, which, wow, it looks like I forgot to turn that on today. And guess what? It is free for you to get this information. Facebook.com/AskDrErnst, YouTube.com/AskDrErnst. And you know, the texts are kind of quiet. When I'm giving away $100 gift certificates to a spa in Charlotte to give you a massage, have acupuncture services, anything you want that they offer for $100 free, I would expect this phone to be blowing up. So here it is again. At the end of the hour today, we're live. I'm going to pull 2 names out of this text hat, and I'm going to give you guys the $100 gift certificates. It's the Izar Wellness Spa in Charlotte. It's on 6324 Fairview Road. So it's local. It's here. It's in the city. But you have to text the word spa and your name and your email. So give it like 5 seconds so we're going to start seeing these texts come in. If you want a $100 gift certificate, if you want a free massage on us, if you want acupuncture services for $100 on us, boom, you need to send a text. Spa, first name, last name, send. If you want the ebook that's free that'll show you how to lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, and reset your heart health, text the word heart and your name and your email to the same number, 704-906-2094. My advice, text both the word heart and spa with your name and your email, and you did one text and you get both of them for free. But you're entered to win your free tickets, right? So you guys are getting the tickets. We're counting the people texting in. We're going to stick our hand in a digital hat and pull out a text. And if it says your name at youremail.com, you won the $100 gift certificate. There's 2 of them, and there are the texts. There they look at that. They're starting to come in, so you guys are listening. Thank God. Okay, 12 steps to improve your circulatory health. We're going to go super deep into each of these. We have 41 minutes. Here we go. Number 1, you need to understand that blood pressure is an effect of inflammation. It's an effect that you are using sugar as your primary energy source instead of fat because sugar burns with waste, and those waste products will elevate your inflammation, which will elevate your blood pressure. This is why almost every diabetic that is diagnostic diabetic has high blood pressure. They also have high cholesterol, and they also have high triglycerides. Do you notice the trend? Everything elevates in these people because they have high sugars and because they're diabetics. Now, am I saying that if you're not a diabetic, you don't have high blood pressure? No. I'm saying you must understand your blood pressure is a reflection of how much inflammation you have. Lots of inflammation, lots of high blood pressure. Does taking a pill which lowers your blood pressure fix your inflammation? No. If anything, it makes your inflammation worse, which is why the one medication had to become 2 because your pressure kept climbing. So now 2 to push it down, comes back up, 3 to push it down. And listen, if you don't think that's true, I've worked with hundreds of patients who take 2, 3, 4, 5 different blood pressure pills. And when I meet with them, I'm always like, hey, do you think number 6 is just going to fix this? Or would you like to stop medicating it and fix the cause? Cause number 1, too much inflammation because of too much standard American diet, which is a high carbohydrate, low fat, very low fiber diet. It's the antithesis of what we teach, which is a heart healthy, cellular healing diet, which focuses on plant fats as the primary source, carbs as the lowest source, and really clean proteins as the middle. Some people call it ketogenic. Some people call it cellular healing. Some people call it anti-inflammatory. You can put whatever name you want after it. It is the way to eat if you want to be healthy. So number one cause of elevated blood pressure, you are inflamed. Number two cause, you are stressed internally. Not that you have mental stress, bills that are stacking up, a boss that's barking down your neck, a spouse that's, yammering on about things you did or didn't do. This is real life, guys, okay? Whatever that stress is, a family member that passed away, whatever, just whatever you can think of. Can that elevate your blood pressure? Yeah, but that's usually a temporary effect. I'm talking about the internal stress of either chemical toxicities, misassociated or disassociated mental thoughts, anxiety, depression, worry, regret. That internal angst elevates your cortisol. Now watch this, which elevates your insulin. Now watch this, which elevates your sugar, which elevates your inflammation, and then your blood pressure is elevated. So over here is the high blood pressure, but down here is the internal stress cause. You have to start paying attention to the chemical and the internal physical stresses that affect how your body functions. And there's lots of ways to do this. We can cleanse and detox. We can change your diet. We can start meditating. We can start praying. Heaven forbid, right? The Bible says that any and all things you look for come from God above. Joy, peace, patience, kindness, happiness, self-control. All the fruits of the Spirit come when you get in alignment with God. And I'll leave that for another subject and another study. But get your stress levels down. Okay? Number 3, sleep. Most people I work with will tell me, I'm that weirdo where I'm tired during the day and I'm awake at night. Or it's I can't sleep, Dr. Ernst. I have to take 6 CBD supplements and drink my sleep teas. Oh, and take a sleep aid. And that's the only way I fall asleep. Or, I have to knock myself out somehow. Okay. The average person today is really struggling to sleep. And there's 2 reasons for this. Number 1, the toxicity levels and your exposures to heavy metals and halogens, chloride, fluoride, bromine, all the things we use to clean our teeth and clean our water, causes a calcification of a little tiny gland inside of your brain called the pineal gland. And what's unique about your pineal gland, it is the center of your brain, like dead center. And it is what produces melatonin that makes you fall asleep. So listen, there's evidence that shows if you have a lot of toxins or you have a lot of halogens, which is fluoride and chloride and bromine, then you actually damage your pineal gland. It calcifies over like an eggshell. It wraps around itself and it stops the production of melatonin. It's something we see in about 80% of our patients. Calcified pineal glands mean you can't sleep. What do? We decalcify the pineal gland by using natural techniques, detoxification, cleansing the halides and the metals, and then what do you know? People start sleeping, and then what do you know? Their blood pressure starts to come down. There are tremendous amounts of studies that show if you're not getting a healthy level of sleep, and before you start texting in saying, well, how many hours am I supposed to sleep, Dr. Ernst? It's not about the number of hours. It's about the efficiency of those hours. You could sleep 4 hours. If 50% is split between REM and deep, you're going to wake up feeling uber refreshed. Or you could sleep 12 hours and be only in the light sleep, do REM for maybe an hour and deep for maybe 3, and wake up feeling extremely exhausted. Very important you guys start looking at your sleep. Not just, oh, well, I went to bed at 10 and I woke up at 6. No. Get some tracker apps. Use an Aura Ring. I have one on right now. This guy measures my entire sleep cycle and gives me a PDF document every day that I can reference, graphs it, tracks it, shows me what my breathing cycles look like, what my sleep quality is by score. For example, maybe last night was only 76. Terrible. Maybe the next night's 93. Fantastic. So if you get your sleep scores up and you get your REM up and your deep sleep up and your light sleep down, your blood pressure goes away. It gets better. Fourth cause is not having enough magnesium-rich foods in your diet, okay? Magnesium is a muscle relaxer, flat out. Guaranteed 100%. If you don't believe me, take a lot of magnesium and watch your bowels relax as you have diarrhea for hours on end. It relaxes things in your body you have no control over. It won't relax this muscle per se, but it'll relax the blood vessels in it. It won't relax your back pain, but it'll relax your bowels. Magnesium-rich foods have been shown to decrease blood pressure because they relax the vessels and allow them to expand. Look, it's basic fluid physics. If I have a closed system with a tube that's 1 inch around, and I'm pushing that water or the fluid through at a specific rate, the velocity of flow, there will be naturally a level of pressure that can be measured. So if I take that 1 inch or 2 inch tube and I downscale it to like a 1/4 inch tube, the pressure coming out the 1/4 inch tube is higher simply because I decreased the size of the tube. Now ready? You got millions of tubes inside of you, in case you didn't know this, carrying your blood, both oxygenated, arterial, deoxygenated, venous, and they're all connected together. But what happens if one of them shrinks in size? Well, your pressure goes up. What happens if you increase the fluid volume? Your pressure goes up. This is why they say, take a diuretic, a water pill. Will have you urinate all your water out and it will lower your blood pressure. Well, sure, because it's basic fluid physics, but it also dehydrates you, which will also cause inflammation, which will also cause an elevation in your blood pressure again. So do you notice, right? Like it's just, let's feed, feed the piper, and I'm blanking on this analogy. You guys understand. Rob Peter to pay Paul, I think it is, something like that. You're never going to break your blood pressure completely if you keep tricking your system into thinking it's healthy by using a drug. Increase magnesium-rich foods, and what happens? Your blood pressure starts to drop naturally. Now, I already know what you're thinking. Like, hey, Dr. Aaron, when are you going to tell us about the magnesium-rich foods? They are in the ebook. They are all back here for you. See them here. I'm on my video screen. If you guys aren't watching our live streams, facebook.com/AskDrErnst, youtube.com/AskDrErnst. There are the magnesium-rich foods. How do I get the book, Dr. Ernst? Great question. Text the word heart with your name and your email, and we'll send you the ebook. We're also doing a live webinar on the 12th of November on how to solve all heart issues. You get that for free. You get the ebook for free. And 2 of you today will win a $100 gift certificate to the Izar Spa in Charlotte. $100. Did that pique your ears? How do I get a $100 gift certificate to a spa, Dr. Ernst? Text the word spa, S-P-A, your name and email to 704-906-2094. Hey, do you want to save time with one text and get both at the same time? Text the word spa and heart, name and email, send, and you just got an entry for the free $100 certificate. You just got the ebook for free. You get the webinar for free. Are you hearing the words? Free. I don't know how much easier I can make it for you. I'm just trying to see, are you paying attention? And will you pick up your phone? And will you text? 704-906-2094. Okay, let's do a brief summary. Cause number 1 of elevated blood pressure. You are extremely inflamed eating the standard American inflammatory diet. High sugar, low fat. It's terrible. Don't do that. Terrible. High grains, high carbs, very little protein, almost no fat. Number 2, you're stressed out internally, both chemically and physically. Number 3, your sleep quality is going south on you and you're not tracking it using Oura rings or sleep trackers, and you didn't even know it's happening, and your pressure's going up as a result. Number 4, you're running out of magnesium inside your body, And we need to focus on magnesium-rich foods, which are in the ebook, which is free for you. Number 5, you're not getting enough oxygen when you breathe. There are what are called short, shallow breathers and deep abdominal breathers. Shallow is your chest, abdominal is deep. Let me show you shallow breathing. Ready? Where your shoulders and your rib cage move. Let me show you abdominal breathing. Those of you on the live stream will see my shoulders are not moving. Now this is the shallow breath thoracic breathing. Abdominal breathing is when your belly goes out and in, but your shoulders stay the same. Short breathing is where your stomach stays the same and your ribs go up and down. And if you don't think you do that, think again. If you focus on deep breathing and a specific breathing exercise where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 6, and exhale for 4 seconds, you force a reset. So it's kind of like this. That was 4 seconds. That was 6 seconds. 4 seconds. You force your body to go through a reoxygenation phase. Deep breathing has been shown to lower blood pressure. They've done studies with people who do a lot of prayer and meditation. So you see them sitting with their fingers crossed, or they're physically praying, that their blood pressure goes down simply while they're doing that. Now, here's what's even deeper. They've shown research using MRIs that when you think or meditate or pray good thoughts to another person, their blood pressure goes down. Let's chew on that for a moment. You and the people around you affect your blood pressure. Focus on deep breathing. Ask people to pray or meditate for you and your blood pressure can go down. Okay, the next one's kind of a weird one. It means you're ungrounded. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not standing on the ground. It means that you haven't discharged your electrical current through your body, through the earth, because you've lived an insulated life. Today, most shoes are made out of plastic and rubber and leather and all these things that never let your foot ever touch the earth. Even if you tried to, you're probably walking on a concrete sidewalk or an asphalt paveway. You need to physically get your feet in the dirt or hug a tree. Oh, Dr. Ernst, you're saying those tree huggers are actually right? Yeah, they are. Trees have an immense amount of root systems which go into the earth and allow for an electrical exchange to the magnetic energy of the earth. So when people grab a tree and hug it, all they're doing is they're connecting their body to that energy system of the tree and allowing there to be a discharge across the root system. They've actually studied this. You can see this. If you haven't touched the earth in the last 24 hours, your blood pressure is going to be somewhat elevated. Think back to yonder year. It's the year 500 BC. Pretty much we walked around and touched the earth all day long. Buildings were made out of dirt that would connect to the earth. So even when you slept inside, you were grounded. Their shoes were made out of animal skins that were real, not fake, like faux leather, like 99% of what you guys wear. And even if they wore leather shoes, the soles were leather, not made out of rubber or plastic. So they touched the earth a lot. I don't know about you, but when I read through the Bible, I never read a verse where someone came up to Jesus and said, "Man, I have really bad blood pressure. Can you heal me? I have really bad diabetes. Can you heal me?" No, it was plague level diseases, right? So leprosy, for example, or like full-on crippledness, blindness, etc. Okay, those were things people dealt with their health back then. Fevers and illness and infections and stuff like that. To look at the conditions we deal with today, like the leading killers, heart disease. Nope, didn't really happen. Diabetes certainly didn't happen. There was no food that was processed. They had to eat the food they caught themselves. You see where I'm going with this, right? Why does grounding decrease blood pressure so well? And how do you ground? Man, you guys are asking great questions. Okay, grounding is a process of you getting your feet in the earth. This is why when you go to the beach, people are always like, oh man, when I'm at the beach, I feel so good. Listen, all it is because you finally took your shoes off and you put your feet in the sand, which is the dirt. You know, like you've been cooped up in your 15th story apartment building that has no connection to the ground. You put rubber shoes on or plastic shoes or fake shoes and you drive in a car that's off the ground, notice not touching the ground, and you go to your office, which is usually not touching the ground, and you spend your whole life never touching the ground and you get stressed out. When you ground, you discharge ionic energy, and it's been shown to lower your cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which will elevate the response that fixes blood pressure. High cortisol, high blood pressure, low cortisol, low blood pressure. Simple as that. What does grounding do? It resets your cortisol. What's an easy way to ground if you live on the 40th floor of some sort of tower here in Charlotte? There is a company that sells grounding sheets. And yes, it's going to sound weird, but think about this. All buildings have a grounding port. Legally, they're required to, so you can ground the electricity. Notice that buildings are grounded, but you're not. So you can take this special plug that only has one prong. You stick it in the bottom half of an outlet. The top half is typically not grounded. The bottom is grounded. Stick it in the bottom half of the outlet, and it connects this sheet that has silver fibers in it to the earth cable that your building or your house has. And you lay on it, and all throughout the night of you sleeping, you are grounding. And again, I know you're going to think this is crazy, but go to a website called earthing.com and you can see sheets and blankets and pillows and all kinds of things. Hey, the texts have stopped. So what that means is you guys have tuned out and somebody else has tuned in. And here we go. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. This is the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. And we're giving away today 2 $100 gift certificates to the Izar Wellness Spa here in Charlotte. They have services like massage, spa services, etc., acupuncture. Check out their website, izarwellness.com. These $100 gift certificates are yours when you enter to win them. I'm going to draw them at the end of the show today in exactly 23 minutes. So you better do it now. Text the word spa with your first and last name and your email. Now, some of you are texting some crazy things over to us that don't make any sense to us. Okay? Spa, name and email, send. Because some of you are texting spa certificate. Okay, I have no clue who you are. Even if we pulled you, how am I going to send it to you? Email and your name. Okay, so spa email name, 704-906-2094. That enters you to win. We're going to draw a name, 2 names technically, and say these 2 people just won a $100 gift certificate, courtesy of the Izar Wellness, courtesy of Fox Sports Charlotte. And if you want to really hit the hammer on the head, text the word spa and heart. You also get my free ebook, Heart Disease, Heal Thyself, How to Lower Blood Pressure, Cholesterol, Triglycerides, and Fix Arrhythmias, Palpitations, etc. in as little as 90 days. Like, you can't not just enjoy that. Okay, so we're on to, I think it's number 6 now. Exercise. This makes sense, I think, right? If you work out, you elevate your blood pressure, and then you learn how to recover it back down by breathing deeper and by centering yourself. So don't just think that because you went on a walk for a mile that means your blood pressure is going to get better. No, we're talking about like actually physically get your heart rates up, get your pressure up, because it will elevate when you're working out. And practice the art of letting it come back down again. See, a lot of you have never practiced the centering nature of your health. Like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. All right, ready? Oh, I'm going to dial in. I'm dialing in and I'm in my zone. And your blood pressure can go down. What exercise does is it helps you to learn how to get it up and how to bring it back down. How to get it up and how to bring it back down. So we need to exercise more. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 was exercise. 8 is potassium. We talked earlier about magnesium. That's a muscle relaxer. But see, potassium actually feeds your heart and makes your heart function in its proper relationships. Dr. Ernst, what are the potassium-rich foods? Hey, great question there in the ebook. How do I get the ebook? Text the word heart and spa so you can get the $100 gift certificate to 704-906-2094. Potassium-rich foods, absolutely essential. And I don't want you to just think that means that you're free line to eat bananas like crazy. Bananas have potassium, but they're kind of low compared to avocado, which has 4 times the amount of potassium, all the healthy plant fats, and almost no sugar. Whereas a banana has potassium, almost no fat, and lots of sugar. Notice the difference? That would be the standard American diet way of getting your potassium. I'm going to go eat 12 bananas, and you're going to die of diabetes. Instead, you should say, I'm going to go eat 12 avocados. Good luck even doing that. And my heart's going to get healthier, and I'm going to lower my blood pressure. Notice. Okay, so number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 was potassium. 9 is antioxidant-rich herbs. Remember when I said to you earlier that a lot of people burn sugar for energy because we eat a lot of sugar. So we have these oxidative species as waste. Let me see if I can give you an analogy. If I burn a wood fire, so I take like 6 logs and I put them in a fire pit and I burn them, what's left over is ash. That would be oxidative waste. Now, if instead of burning 6 logs, I go to a natural gas fire pit, I turn on that little valve and I take a lighter and go whoosh, I can burn the same amount of heat, turn the gas off, and how much waste do I have? Nothing. That's a highly efficient, non-oxidative heat source. Now, are you ready for this? Sugar is like wood with lots of waste products. Fat is like propane gas with very little to no waste products. So which one would you rather burn? Yeah, I would rather burn the fat too. Thank you for being honest and telling us, oh, Dr. Ernst, I want to burn the sugar. I like the cookies and the cakes and the pastas and the grains and my donuts and my this and my sugar. I'll just pour the sugar packets right in my mouth. In fact, I put it in my coffee. Why wouldn't I just put it right in my body? That's the problem, guys. Sugar does give us energy, but it's got a lot of waste left over with it, whereas fat has tons of energy and very little waste. So why would antioxidant-rich herbs help? Because you've been eating too much sugar your whole life, and we got to get rid of them. What are the herbs that we need to do? They're right there. You can see them on the last page of the ebook, and you need to get the ebook to get the list of the herbs. It's so easy. 704-906-2094. Text the word heart, your name and email. We'll send you the ebook. Hey, again, if you want to win the Izar Wellness Spa gift certificates, I've got 2 $100 certificates. When you text the word heart, also text the word spa. So open up your phone and do this. 704-906-2094. In the little chat box where you can text, say heart plus spa. First name, last name, email, send, and you just get 2 burns with 1 stone. Or you could do 2 texts if you want, because they'll come right next to each other in our system. Okay, next. I should have numbered these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 10, omega-3 fatty acids. Those are anti-inflammatory. Whereas omega-6, which comes from corn and soy and wheat and really bad processed meats, is the inflammatory. So what happens here, guys, is this. Your omega-3 levels start to go down and your omega-6 levels go up. If your omega-6 levels exceed 4 times, did you hear that? 4, the amount of omega-3s, you're going to be inflamed. And unfortunately, the average American, theirs is like 40 or 400. Now, can you have your omega-3 fatty acids tested? Of course you can, but most of you have never had this done. So if you want to fix this problem, if your omega-6s are way up here and your omega-3s are down here, stop eating the omega-6 fats. What are those, Dr. Ernst? They're in the ebook. And start elevating your omega-3 oils. What are those? They're in the ebook. And if you elevate your omega-3s and you decrease your omega-6s, you get back to that 4-to-1 ratio. Guess what happens? Blood pressure clears. Gee, is it really this easy, Dr. Ernst? Well, you've got 12 things to do. So if you do all 12, I can pretty much guarantee you they're going to start dropping, especially if you do number 12, which I'm saving the best for the last. Number 11, optimize your vitamin D. Okay, listen, vitamin D is technically not a vitamin. It is a hormone by definition, and hormones tell your body what to do. So if you don't have enough vitamin D, your body won't know what to do. And they've discovered now that D3 specifically is an immune modulating, hormone regulating, blood pressure lowering, blood sugar lowering, skin tightening, weight loss generating, energy producing vitamin that's technically a hormone. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? So, how much vitamin D am I supposed to take? I have no clue until we see what your D3 levels are. The number one most important test you could ever have your medical doctor run is your vitamin D. And here's why. Medicine says 30, 35, 40 is okay. Okay, during the COVID era, when everybody was freaking out about dying, there was a study published that said, hey, listen, if your vitamin D is above 50, you don't die if you have COVID. Now, what's crazy is it was squashed and, pushed back, and nobody wanted to talk about it because all these people started selling vitamin D, saying it'll help you with COVID. And the FDA started suing them left and right and shutting down their practices and sending cease and desist letters. So everybody kind of got freaked out. The problem is it's hard fact research. And if you don't believe me, go to Google and type in vitamin D 50 nanograms per deciliter, COVID mortality 0, and that study will pop right up. What are they saying? If you have a level of 50 for your vitamin D, you physically couldn't activate the cytokine inflammatory storm that COVID was causing, so you didn't die. What they found out was now all the people who got that virus and went, it's because their D3 was way less than 50. So much so that if it was 30 or 20 or 10, they could actually predict your likelihood of dying just by looking at vitamin D. So here's all the functional doctors. Take vitamin D to boost your immune system. And the FDA goes, no. See, we're trying to develop a vaccine that we want people to take, or we're trying to develop a drug. Don't speak about D3. And a lot of people, including myself, got ostracized and told not to talk about COVID at all. Well, now it's all gone, so we can talk about it again. Okay, so D3. Now, number 12, guys. I've got 12 minutes. Hey, look, 12 minutes for number 12. How cool is that? The most important way to improve your circulatory health and to reduce your blood pressure, and I know it's going to sound weird, is to pay attention to what those doctors said with this brand new drug called an alpha blocker. Alpha blockers change the neurological signaling to the heart. They have discovered that certain impulses are being sent through the nerve system to make the heart work harder, and thus the blood pressure goes up. So these new drugs called alpha blockers are designed to try to slow down your nerve signaling to your heart. Now, before you start going that sounds great. How do I get one of those? How I want to take that pill? Think of the ramifications of slowing down nerve signals. I don't know about you, but if I cut the nerves to my heart, sayonara pretty soon. If I cut the nerves to my hand, completely paralyzed, and if I stabbed it with a knife, I don't feel anything. Chemically shutting off nerves to your heart is what your medical doctors want to do because it's the only thing they can do to affect nerve function. There's no drug that makes your nerves work better. There's drugs that make your nerves work worse. And if the effect of shutting the nerve off is lowering your blood pressure and you think, woohoo, that sounds good, think again. So how could we use what they figured out and show you a way to do it naturally? Well, enter the world of subluxation-based chiropractic care. Now, notice I said that word in front, subluxation-based. This is unique. This is a special kind of chiropractic. In the world of chiropractic, you have what we call the rack and crackers. You guys know when I talk about them, right? How do you feel now? They crack your spine for the intent of making you feel better. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with that. It's way better than taking pain drugs. I'd rather you get adjusted than pop pills left and right. But if your sole primary purpose of seeing a chiropractor is to reduce your pain, you're missing the greatest benefit of them all, which is the fact that subluxations, misalignments of the spine that compress the nerves so they send the wrong signals. Are you connecting dots yet? The wrong signal being sent to your heart can cause high blood pressure. But you don't fix them by getting the rack and crack style adjustments. It has to be targeted, specific, structural, typically using instrumentation or some sort of special table, X-ray analysis, thermography, and exams to find and locate the subluxation, correct it, and show physical proof by doing another thermogram or another X-ray to show that it actually got better. And instead of asking the patient, how do you feel now? We look at the X-ray and the thermogram to say, did that get better? Because you will get better if that gets better. Subluxation-based chiropractic has been shown to reduce blood pressure, so much so that even the University of Chicago, you know what they did? They studied this. They lined up all these people with high blood pressure. They had a specially trained upper cervical chiropractor deliver either an adjustment or a fake adjustment where the patient thought they were adjusted, but they actually weren't. And those people who got adjusted had 14-point drops in their systolic and sometimes 5 and 10-point drops in their diastolic, which means they got adjusted and their blood pressure immediately went down. Now, the best part of this study that I'm saving for you is they asked the medical doctors to use their drugs to get the same effect, and it took 2. Think about how powerful this is. It took 2 blood pressure pills to equal 1 chiropractic adjustment. And now I'm saving the best of the best for last. The effects from the chiropractic adjustment lasted for 8 weeks, whereas the effect of the medication only lasted for 1 day. So they had to keep taking their medications over and over and over. Whereas the chiropractic was, you get adjusted and then your blood pressure drops. Think of the power behind that. If medicine has an alpha blocker that can shut off your nerves, it tells you the nerve is sending the wrong signal. If they have calcium channel blockers, it tells you the issue is you got too much calcium, which causes a contraction, and your magnesium, which would kick the calcium out, is low. That was number 4 on our list today, if you remember that. And angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors are the other little pill that they have. And what it should show you is angiotensin is a hormone that when it is converted creates a specific contraction of your blood vessels, which makes them get really tight, and then your blood pressure goes up. So medicine says, well, if I can block that enzyme, then the vessels won't get tight, they'll relax, and you'll be well. But we got to ask the question, what causes elevations in angiotensin? Ready for it? It's the 12 things I talked to you about. This entire list elevates angiotensin conversion, and it thus causes high blood pressure. So again, if you're just tuning in, 12 steps to improve your circulatory health and lower your blood pressure. Go on an anti-inflammatory cellular healing diet that focuses on bringing your ketones up, lowering your sugars, and elevating your plant fats. Reduce your stress levels internal. External would be good too, but that's hard to do. Reduce your internal stress levels by cleaning your body out and centering your mind, prayer and meditation. Improve your quality of sleep. Don't just sleep and say, I got 8 hours. Track it. Deep sleep, REM sleep, light sleep. How much are you getting by percentage? Aura rings are great. Your Fitbits are great, whatever you guys use. Increase your magnesium and potassium-rich foods, which is in the free ebook that you can get today. Focus on deep breathing. No more shallow, short breaths through your ribs. Deep abdominal belly breaths. And how do you know if you're doing it right? Your shoulders don't move when you breathe. Only your stomach goes back and forth. Ground your body, guys. Get out in nature. Go for a walk barefoot. Hug a tree or go to the beach and stick your feet in the sand. Or get one of those earthing sheets I talked to you about at the top of the hour. Plug it into your house on the grounding port. Sleep on it. And boom, you're grounding while you sleep. Exercise so we can get our heart rate up and get it back down again. Blood pressure up and get it back down again. It's a regulatory method of training your heart how to go fast and slow. Antioxidant herbs, which is on the very last page of your ebook. All of them are sitting right there. There's our antioxidant herbs. There's our vitamins and minerals we want to focus on. So you really need to download the ebook, which I'll tell you how to do in a second. and make sure you're increasing your omega-3 fatty acids, bumping your D3 levels up. Now, ideally, D3 should be like 80, 90, 100. So if you're taking a D3 test and you come back at 30, we already know it's too low. But we need to know how much do you weigh and some other factors to figure out what your dosages are. But the average adult today needs about 10,000 units of D3 daily if they're low, and about 5,000 a day to keep them when you get to the level you want them to be at. And finally, please, for the love of God, consider visiting a structural chiropractor. If you are in the Charlotte area, we have both now a north and a south clinic where we can help you clear vagal nerve stresses, reestablish normal spinal function, and get rid of subluxations so that your body has all the energy and all the power being sent to your organs appropriately, so that we don't have to take alpha blockers or calcium channel blockers or angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors or blah, 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 right? Stop medicating, start fixing the problem. If you pay attention to just these 12 steps, I guarantee you your blood pressure is going to start getting better. Most of the time, it only takes 2 or 3. So as we wrap up today's show, this is your last chance, guys, to enter to win the $100 gift certificate to the Izar Wellness Spa here in Charlotte. They're located on Fairview Road, Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm giving away 2 $100 gift certificates. Why? Just because we can and we want to love on you. I'm also giving away this free ebook. It's 25 pages of everything you need to lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, lower your triglycerides, get your heart healthy. And before you start thinking like, I don't have a heart issue, why do I need this? Everyone that's over the age of 65 has a heart defect, either blood pressures, arrhythmias, palpitations, according to the research. So you're going to have it in the future unless you get this ebook. So here's how you do it. Text the word spa and heart. Now, very specifically, none of these entries are going to qualify unless it says spa, heart, name, email, send. I'm looking through, like, we're getting hundreds of texts. A lot of you are like, enter me for the spa certificate. You're automatically no longer entered. Text the word spa and heart and your email and your name and then hit send. And that qualifies you for the entry for the certificate, and it qualifies you for the free ebook. It also qualifies you for Saturday, November 12th. I'm hosting a holistic heart summit. If you know someone that struggles with high blood pressure, text their name in their email. If you know someone who has high cholesterol, text their name in their email. If you know someone that has a need, text their name and email. Now, if you want to go big, instead of texting your name and email in with the word spa, text your spouse or your loved ones and we'll give it to them. But we need their name and their email, and the text must say spa, name, email, heart, name, email. A lot of you are now doing it right now, so thank you for doing that. In summary, your blood pressure is not the problem. It is the effect. The underlying root cause is what's causing your high blood pressure. Stop medicating and start getting to the deep issue. One of these 12 things is out of alignment, and the trick is finding them. But the neat thing is you guys can do all of this yourself with the exception of the chiropractic. It's hard to adjust yourself. It's just like it's hard to deep clean your teeth, so thank God we have dentists. Okay, thank God we have chiropractors. But be careful. A lot of chiropractors are just rock and crack, and they're only focusing on your pain, not the problem. Subluxation-based chiropractors are the kinds you want to look for. And if you need help with that, we can locate some for you. Head on over to AskDrErnst.com. You can see our clinics in Charlotte. We have 2 now, North Charlotte, South Charlotte. We're here to help if you need help in those areas. And I'm telling you, you follow these 12 steps, your blood pressure can start to be lowered immediately. And if you want more details, download the ebook. It's 25 pages of everything I just told you, plus the herbs, plus the vitamins, plus the diet. And this is it, guys. We got 48 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Someone's about to win the $100 gift certificate. You can still enter right now. Text the word spa and heart, your name, your email, hit send. We have 37 seconds, and then I'm going to draw the winner. and you will be contacted directly with instructions on how to get your certificates. Thanks so much for tuning in today. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. Don't forget to head on over to facebook.com/AskDrErnst, youtube.com/AskDrErnst. I think it's right there. Do you guys see that thing right there? That says you can subscribe and follow us so you can get engaged in all of our channels. We do give a lot of stuff away for free every radio show. Today it was the $100 gift certificates to Izar Wellness. You got 8 seconds. Come on, I see them coming in. Spa, heart, name, email, send. It has to say spa, heart, name, email, send. And you're in. And there's my timer, so we're good to go. I'll see you guys next week. Be blessed and have an exceptional day. Until I see you.